All right, let's play one more clip, and then we'll do some IMs, and then we'll get going. This Mark Zuckerberg on the Hill today. We'll probably have a little bit more about this tomorrow, but here he is being asked by Maxine Waters about the Facebook policy of not fact-checking ads. Now, well, let's hear the clip, and then we can talk about it.
Having ads can be an important way to inject your message into the political debate.
Let me interrupt you for a minute. Are you telling me, I think as you said to me before, you plan on doing no fact-checking on political ads?
Chairwoman, our policy is that we do not fact-check politicians' speech, and the reason for that is that we believe that in a democracy, it is important that people can see for themselves what politicians are saying. Political speech is some of the most scrutinized speech already in the world.
Do you fact check on any ads at all?
Yes.
Describe what you fact check on.
Well, Chairwoman, actually, thank you for the opportunity to clarify. Facebook itself actually does not fact check. What we do is we have feedback that people in our community don't want to see viral hoaxes or kind of widespread.
So let me be clear. You do no fact-checking on any ads. Is that correct?
Chairwoman, what we do is we work with a set of independent fact-checkers who...
Somebody fact-checks on
Washington
ads.
Free Beacon.
You contract with someone to do that. Is that right?
Chairwoman, yes.
And tell me, who is it that they fact-checked on?
Chairwoman, what we do is when content is getting a lot of distribution and is flagged by members of our community or by our technical systems, it can go into a queue to be reviewed by a set of independent fact-checkers. They can't fact-check everything, but the things that they get to, and if they mark something as false, then we...
All right, my time has expired, and someone else will continue on this line of questioning.
I mean, first off, you're not censoring speech by having a banner under an ad with a refutation. I mean, you know, in part, what is problematic about political advertising in the era of no fairness doctrine, and it obviously didn't apply, is that there's no, you don't have the same ability to sort of like balance things out with two different arguments. And the idea that you wouldn't fact check politicians' ads doesn't mean you why can't you just flag it and say our fact checkers found this to be false? Just a banner underneath. Click here for more information.
Well, you know that they don't want, I mean, because it goes to their...
They don't want to inhibit their ad revenue.
They don't want to inhibit their ad revenue, and they also don't want to acknowledge that they're a media company and not just like a social platform, whatever the hell that even means at this point. And the other thing, too, you know, I always say, to the extent that they have started to do this, they go to like right-wing think tanks on foreign policy, and all of a sudden, you know, really important reporting on, you know, U.S. Interference in Latin America, as an example, is obscured. And there's no doubt that because there is a far-right constituency, sure, like Brendan was just saying, they go to Free Beacon. Like, I mean, they don't want to take the responsibility, and then when they do, they go to all the wrong sources. By the way, Mark Zuckerberg has a hand in staffing Pete Buttigieg's campaign.
I have a buddy who was looking into sort of like Texas state races, and for a Texas House district, he said the spending for one candidate was nearly $15,000 on Facebook alone.
Yep.
Wow. And Zuckerberg, I don't know if you covered this yesterday or the other day. He was saying Facebook was founded on this idea during the Iraq War that we need to have other voices. He literally
during the Iraq War, I wanted to figure out a new way to rate my classmates at Harvard.
Well, that's the thing, is that platform was not designed like that at all at that time.
It was literally to rate girls' hotness.
You could rate how hot they were and how good their position on Iraq was.
Yeah, it was like, are they a dime piece? And they know that the administration was lying on WMD.
But there was no, it was built to be for specific, within specific colleges. We used to get a Facebook.
Yep.
in college, you get a book full of people's faces and names.
Yep.
And he just digitized that basically.
Genius.
And there's a couple people could search for it. I can't quite remember. Maybe it was Dara Lind who was there at I think Harvard at that time. It was like the Facebook wasn't anything like a platform to express opinions about anything.
No, I mean I was on it relatively early because it really, I mean, it's so disgusting. Like literally, it was like Harvard, then the Ivies, then they expanded it to like, you know, Stanford, and then they did like MIT, and then all of the small like liberal arts colleges in New England. Like it was totally elitist in every way. So I was on it pretty early, and there wasn't even a news feed function. It was another way to, you know, basically like essentially if you didn't have somebody's phone number, you could connect with them that way. And it literally was like the whole emphasis was on your personal page and, you know, what books are you reading or movies or sports you're into or whatever. There was no news aggregate feature at all unless you wanted to use your personal page that way.
All right, I'm going to go through some